As you are probably aware, pollinators play an important role on your farms, and you've surely heard of the troubles facing honeybees right now. But did you know that honeybees aren't the only bees pollinating your crops? A quarter of all insect-pollinated crops are pollinated by bees native to the US, and in fact, a lot of crops are best pollinated by native bees. Our European imported honeybees are great pollinators for many crops, but really struggle pollinating others. What if you knew that there was a more efficient and less expensive way to pollinate your crops? Some of the inefficiencies that honeybees have at pollinating certain crops come from the variety of sizes and shapes of flowers on our plants. When honeybees don't quite fit inside the opening of a flower, or can't otherwise reach the nectar, they can engage in something called nectar robbing. Nectar robbing is where a bee chews straight through the flower, completely bypassing the pollen, resulting in no pollination. Many farmers have issues with unevenly pollinated crops, leading to deformation and unsellable products from honeybee pollination. This is especially prevalent in hard-to-pollinate crops like those in the squash family. So much so that farmers are pollinated by hand to achieve results that should be achievable by pollinators. You may not even realize that these hard-to-pollinate crops can be completely pollinated by wild pollinators. Increased pollinator diversity can increase pollen dispersal, fruit set, and seed set. There are many native pollinators that emerge at different times throughout the growing season to pollinate crops as their flowers bloom. Additionally, pollinators prefer flowers grown at different heights. A diverse population of native pollinators would ensure that all flowers in bloom on each plant would receive pollination. An increase of native pollinator species can provide a wide variety of pollination services that can completely sustain a farm without the need for honeybee pollination. If you've been in the business a while, you probably know how expensive and time-consuming managing honeybee colonies can be. But wild bees are free and take no management. All they ask is for you to take a few special measures to not disrupt their habitats. There are several common organic farming practices that may seem sustainable and harmless. However, practices such as tilling, using plastic mulch, and the classical biological control for the management of pests on a large scale can be disruptive to ecosystems in which native bees are present. Unlike the social European honeybees, most native bees are solitary and nest underground. Primary tilling and plastic mulch can be detrimental to the 70% of native bees who nest underground by limiting access to potential nesting sites, in addition to blocking the entrance to their already existing nests. The introduction of non-native predatory pests for the biological control of pests can have a significantly negative effect on the native ecosystem. Some of the insects released for the pest control can become invasive and displace existing native beneficial insects and kill non-target organisms. A few alternatives to these harmful farming practices include no-till seed separation, the use of biodegradable mulch, and boosting the population of predatory insects that are already present by planting small flowered plants for certain wasps and flies. These changes can reduce the need for pesticides and provide more food and habitat for bees. The decline of honeybee colonies, as well as the increasing demand for higher crop yield for growing populations, make the role of native bees more important than ever.